What's up, everyone? My name is Austin Dorman, and I'm a certified funnel builder and ClickFunnels ambassador. And today we have a special guest here with us, and she is the Director of Customer Education. And so help me in welcoming Jessie Valle to the stage.
Hey,
How are you doing,
Austin.
Jessie?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. Thank you so much for joining us and let me interview you today.
Yeah, of course.
So what I'd like to let's kind of jump right into it about your background, your role specifically, and just so that the audience members who are listening and watching could get to know you a little bit better. So maybe let's start off with your background. What did you do before joining ClickFunnels, and then also too, if you could share a little bit about your role as the Director of Customer Education, what exactly do you do?
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of people can relate to my story because I am now somewhere I never imagined I would ever end up. I formerly went to school to be an educator. So all of my schooling was teaching. I actually taught in the classroom for 6 years. And then I had a baby, you know, and everything changes. You think you have your life set, and then this baby comes along and it changes everything. And I realized I wanted to be home more. And so I quit my job and I started freelancing. At the time, it was wild. It was a whole new world. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just trying to cover the credit card bill, honestly. And by the end of the summer, I was doing that and I was having fun. And it was nice because I was also home with my baby. So I was freelancing. I learned how to code. So I was doing web design. I've always kind of loved tech. So it was kind of more into the tech VA stuff. Found ClickFunnels, started learning all I could about that and working with clients using ClickFunnels until eventually I became a funnel builder myself at ClickFunnels.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I've just kind of morphed from there, project management, marketing director, and all the way to director of customer education.
Wow, that's so awesome. How you started as uh, a teacher, essentially an educator, and then now you're the director of customer education, and kind of it's almost kind of like a full
Full
circle
circle. Yeah.
moment type thing.
I know.
That's
And that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, okay, well, now I finally get to merge those two passions of educating and teaching people, but also my love of technology, specifically ClickFunnels. So it's really nice to be able to share all my knowledge with others, which was another part of your question is what exactly that means that I'm the director of customer education. And so basically, myself and my team, we are the ones that are in charge of all of the help documentation, the step-by-step videos, and just really trying to teach people about how to use ClickFunnels and then also what it can do for you.
that's awesome. Maybe kind of building off of that. So your team focuses on the help documents, step-by-step tutorials. Maybe from your experience with preparing all that documentation, like where do you start? Because I know with ClickFunnels there's all these different apps and different different features, and it's like how do you keep it organized? Do you just like pick one and then kind of go from it? Do you delegate? Maybe if you could share a little bit about that as well, that'll be kind of interesting for the listeners to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I know you're aware, and hopefully those listening, ClickFunnels is changing a lot. And every week we're releasing new things, new changes, new updates to help optimize and give our customers what they need. And so to keep up with that has been a little bit of a challenge. And so, me stepping into this role, I'm really good at organizing, right? So I was able to say, okay, cool, let's organize it, figure out where we're at and then go from there. So that's what we did. We took every app, listed them out in ClickFunnels as a whole, listed out all the apps, and then my team and I we went through them one by one. Is this relevant? Is this accurate information? Does this need to change? Does this even exist anymore? And it took us about 4 or 5 months, but we went through everything so that today I can confidently say if it's in the help center, it's up to date and accurate. So that's a really good feeling.
Oh, that's an awesome feeling. And I use the help documentation as well a lot. So whenever I have a question, go straight there, and then just follow the instructions. And that's the nice thing too about these help documents is they're very straight to the point, easy to read, easy to follow, which makes it nice as a user. To be honest, where it's like, oh, like I could go there, I know exactly what I need to do, and then get the expected result. So that's always nice. Uh,
I one last thing here. I want people to know that when you like a document or dislike a document and leave feedback, like we read every single one of those. So if you are reading a document that you're like, it didn't quite answer my question, this is what I was looking for, I encourage you, go ahead and put the feedback. It doesn't just leave out into the nether. Like we read it and we implement it. So we really love to make sure that it helps our customers the best that it can.
Fantastic. And I'll put the link to the help documentation for ClickFunnels in the description section of this video and also the podcast as well. And where do we leave the feedback? Do we go on the website and is there kind of a chat bot? Is there a specific email that we should reach out to?
Yeah, it's actually at the bottom of every help document. So
Oh, cool.
you are able to just right there. You don't have to go anywhere. You just thumbs up, thumbs down, and decide if you want to leave feedback or not.
Okay, that's awesome. So I'll also put that in the show notes as well for anyone reading the show notes and want to leave some feedback as well. So maybe just we'll kind of circle back to go more in depth about what you do and your team does, but I'd like to maybe ask you a few more questions as well, just about you specifically. Like what makes your job enjoyable? What makes working at ClickFunnels so awesome? Maybe kind of share a little bit about your experience with that.
Yeah. So honestly, it's the customers, right? Like I've had the pleasure of being able to go to a few of our marketing events and just being able to meet customers face to face and put a face to the people using our software and hear their stories it's everything, right? Like I just love being able to just have that relationship with people, right? Like there's the saying in business, people buy from people, right? Well, that's what it is, right? Like we also work for people, right? Like the work we do at ClickFunnels is to help other people, like real people with real businesses, feeding real families, and we take that very seriously. So it's the people, not just who I work with, but the customers themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I have to say, as a customer using ClickFunnels, like I feel the ClickFunnels love from the employees. I mean, everyone I meet at ClickFunnels, they're just like so nice and so invested in our success as well. Just kind of like what you're saying, it's almost like a ripple effect where you help one business owner and they succeed, and then they're helping their customers, their families, and then it just kind of goes on and on. But I really like that point where you said people buy from people, which makes it it kind of moves away from the transactional side of business where like, oh yeah, it's just like a sale, almost like just a number where it's like now it's more relational where it's like building off of relationships and actually meeting these people, and that's super awesome as well. Maybe just kind of going down the list of questions, are you able to share what you're currently working on um, in terms of like projects with, I know you mentioned you help with all the, organizing all the help documentation. Is that kind of all you do? Is there other special projects that you could maybe share a little bit about?
Yeah, of course. So one of our new initiatives is actually starting to implement some onboarding calls for our new customers. And it's interesting when we were just talking about, people buy from people. Well, people also learn from people, right? In this AI age where everything seems to be fake and automated, and I'm not saying AI is not useful, it is certainly very useful.
Yeah.
But you have to have a human touch as well, right? So in this AI world, we're bringing the human touch back, and we're starting these onboarding calls with our new customers to take them and help them set up their ClickFunnels account, answer their initial questions, give them some tips and tricks if they're new to business and funnel hacking, and just showing them that we're here. Like if they have questions, reach out. Like we are real humans too. And we're here to help. So really that's the big thing. On some of the other lives that I've done for ClickFunnels on Facebook and in our community, I've talked about how this is the year of tutorials and demos, and that's kind of an extension of that, right? Like it's not just these videos, but we also want to have the interaction like live with people to make them feel like they're special, because the saying at ClickFunnels is what we do matters. And that's how we all try to live every day. And we do that by connecting directly with the people.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And at least from the time of this recording, these onboarding calls have been relatively new. I want to say it's only been, is it like 2-3 weeks? It's
maybe
somewhere around there.
Yeah, like 1 week.
Yeah, oh yeah, even shorter than that. And that's really awesome too, where like you're getting to know the customers through these onboarding calls. I remember when I first joined ClickFunnels and learning, like diving into the software. I remember I was so lost. Like I was in the funnel builder certification program, so that was kind of my way to like help me expedite how I learned funnels. But it's like really cool where, you know, people from ClickFunnels, they're hopping on these calls. They're, you know, there's a lot of questions that comes with, you know, the initial setup, attaching a domain. How do I even create my first funnel? There's also some really awesome resources as well, where, you know, there's templates. Now there's frameworks, which is super awesome. It's almost like a business system template, you know, in a box that you could just upload. So that's really awesome. I guess from these calls that you've done, what was kind of, has there been kind of like an aha moment where it's like, oh wow, like this was, you know, I didn't like really think about this, or maybe the questions that people ask. I guess what was some of your like epiphanies or findings from these onboarding calls?
Yeah, well, that's why we're asking people even before the calls, like, why are you showing up? Like, what do you hope to get
Yeah.
out of this? Because we want to know so that we can answer that and address it. And it's really interesting. It's a wide range, right? And that's where the challenge lies, is how can we make these specific enough to answer people's questions, but broad enough where it applies for everyone. And we have everything from I have a product to I have no product and I'm just looking to get
Yeah.
started. I'm a techie. I am not a techie. How can I make $10,000 tomorrow? And I just want to make my first dollar. So it's really interesting to see the different types of questions coming in. And since this is relatively new, my job now is to sit with the rest of the team and think about how we can accommodate all these different types of users, because it's like no one left behind, right? Like we don't want to accommodate just one type of user, one type of person. We want to make sure that we cater to all, because everybody matters to us.
Yeah. That's so cool, where it's this personalized experience, and it is a balance. It's like how do we serve the masses but also serve the one?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of that interesting dynamic. So yeah, that's really cool. Let's maybe transition and focus more on your team and what you do. I know we kind of talked about like exactly what your team does and how to kind of delegate all the duties and stuff like that. Maybe from your perspective with managing a team where you know, change is constant. There's so many new features, so many updated features as well. How do you maybe one, manage the team to be efficient, and also two, how do you maybe prepare yourselves for the changes that are coming, maybe like communication and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And that's something that we've really worked on in the last 6 months or so, is making sure to knock down all the blocks between different departments. It's really hard to say that just myself and my team work on these things, because it's not. Like if you've been on these onboarding calls, like it's not just the education team, it's the communications team, it's the affiliate team, it's it's everybody. We're all coming together. We've got engineers on those calls sometimes. Everybody comes and helps all the initiatives, right? So one of the big things that we implemented was actually sitting down and figuring out a system so that if there's something new coming, we kind of know about it ahead of time, even if we don't know the specifics, but then also figuring out how can they give us all the information for us to document before it's released. And so we've really set up this system of where they have a point person on their side, like the engineering and product side. I'm the point person over here. And we make sure that as long as the two of us communicate, then we don't have to worry about these two people over here having a conversation or them over there having a conversation. As long as we know who the point people are, we're able to create those systems and then make sure that's how we make sure they run and we stay organized. So whereas it felt kind of chaotic before of like, hey, there's this new thing that came out and guess what? We already launched it. Go document it. Now it's like, okay, we know it's coming. We've started the documents. They gave us all the info we needed to finish them before they hit live. And so it's really working together for the betterment of our end user, because the moment they have it in their hands and they start to use it, they know they can go to our help docs or watch a video or something like that and be able to understand it, even if it's brand new.
Yeah. So communication is key, especially in the education side of it, which is great. I didn't know engineers hop on these onboarding calls. I kind of had an idea of, or I kind of heard like who exactly were on these calls, but I didn't know it was so many people. It's almost like a all hands on deck type situation for this, which is really cool.
Yeah, we're doing them daily. Well, Monday through Friday right now. Although, like I said, this is fairly new, so we hope to expand. But for now, yeah, we have them daily. So there's a lot of opportunities, because even at some of the events we have, like in real life, our engineers and our product developers are involved, because when they can talk to our end user, they can help make their dreams come true and actually build the things into the software. And so the same thing here. If we're talking to new users, what are the types of things they expect? We don't want to just talk to someone who's been in business for 20 years. We want to know, okay, you kind of want to start a business, you have no product. What can we do to help you? Because we have a lot of options we want you to know about. And so having both our product team and our engineers and the education and communicate, like every department around and being involved allows us to make the software customer focused instead of just what we think they want. We make what they tell us that they want.
Yeah, and I want to share an experience with that kind of just popped in my head. So in February 2025, so about a month ago, it was Funnel Hacking Live. And so they had all these different breakout sessions where you could attend a specific breakout session or workshop tailored to that specific feature. So the one I went to was on communities. And so that was really interesting, having a developer there and then all the people that use the community feature where it's like, hey, this is kind of like what would be nice. And then they also brought in kind of what they thought a community should be, and then just like passing that along to the developer. So that's a really cool experience to be in.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe just to wrap this up, for this last question, I want to see if you had maybe a memorable experience or story while working at ClickFunnels, maybe something where you've had like the biggest impact. Could be kind of like any stories that you'd like to share that was memorable to you.
Yeah. So I thought, just so everyone knows, Austin did shoot me the questions a little bit ahead of time so I could think about this a little bit. And I just kept coming back to this one memory I had when I first started at ClickFunnels. I was tasked with helping upload hundreds of videos into a platform. And we were on a time crunch because the Funnel Hacking Live for that year was coming up. And we were just day and night, like 3 of us, going till 10 p.m., 11 p.m., like every night, uploading these videos because it takes time. And Dave Woodward, our former CEO, amazing guy. He came and he's like, "How we doing here?" And we're like, "We hope we're gonna get done." And he's like, "That makes me nervous, right? Like, you should be confident that you're going to get this done." And so I tried to change my tune and I was like, "You know what? No, we're going to get this done." And he's like, "Okay," because you were pretty doubtful 5 minutes ago. I'm like, no, we can do it. We can do it. And so we worked so hard and we got it done. And then afterwards, Dave comes back to me and he's like, "I will never doubt you again." And that has stuck with me because it reminds me that confidence in what we're doing and keeping that end goal in mind will it just really pushes you past some of your limits that you ever think that you could have. Like, I wasn't sure if we were going to get done, but the moment I decided, no, we're getting done one way or another, and we found a way to make it happen, that's just stuck with me, that you should always have that end goal in mind and know that even if it seems slightly out of reach, you can get there. You just have to believe in it.
Yeah, that's so awesome. You have to believe in yourself, have that confidence. And it's so interesting, the psychology of just placing mental limits and barriers on ourselves, and then just having that confidence just to break those or jump them and to achieve our goals, which is super awesome. So yeah, that was a really awesome story to finish this off. So first off, thank you so much, Jessie, for joining the podcast, the YouTube channel, and for me to listen to your stories and also get to know you as well. And all our audience members are super appreciative of your time as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Austin, for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So until then, we'll see everyone next time. And yeah, if you have any questions, we'll put all the information in the show notes, and then yeah, just start jumping into those help documents. Okay. See ya.